SBN, Sports Business Now. SBN is a division of Row 27, the digital sports marketing company, celebrating 5 years of creating TV spots, intro videos, and microsites for over 150 teams. See our work at row27.com. And by FanMaker, digital marketing tools for sports teams, featuring FanMaker Rewards, the most comprehensive and popular fan loyalty and reward system. Learn more about our apps at fanmaker.com. Sports Marketing Now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Marketing Now. I'm Holly Koski, and Sports Marketing Now is a show where we talk about all of the latest news in the marketing side of sports. And today we have Tariq Ahmad and Sarah Pavelko of Uconn Athletics. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey Holly.
Hey there. Great. How are you?
Great. It's a little chilly here in Minnesota. Can't believe spring is going to be tomorrow, but we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. Tariq, how about you introduce yourself to our audience here?
Sure. Recently I completed a PhD from the University of Northern Colorado. My research was on social media and the NBA. So interviewed 7 social media NBA team directors on how they implement, manage, and evaluate social media strategies. Also created 2 social media courses, one at the University of Northern Colorado for undergraduate students and one for graduate students at Columbia University in New York City. And also created Sport Shadow, which is a site that tracks Foursquare and Facebook Places check-ins at over 300 sports venues worldwide.
You are definitely the social media and sports guru, Tariq, so glad you are finally on with us here.
I wouldn't say guru. It's always a
guru.
rookie. You always have to, always be hungry to learn. So I just try to learn one day at a time.
And Sarah, out in Connecticut, you said
Yep.
snowy Connecticut. If you want to introduce yourself and share what you do with Uconn Athletics.
Yep. Sarah Pavelko. I am the Director of Marketing for Uconn Athletics. Approaching about 3 years of being here in July. I think I brought the cold weather with me because we've definitely had record-setting snow since I've been here. But I kind of oversee all of our marketing for football and then men's and women's basketball on the game production side of stuff, and then also assisting with all the rest of the marketing, from putting together the marketing plans to TV commercials, that kind of stuff, and then just help oversee the rest of our staff with all of our sports. So it's definitely a busy but fun and rewarding job. So it's a good time.
Busy time of year, especially in March. We'll get to that a little later on in the show with Uconn women's basketball, who always seems to be predominant force in the game. But switching gears to actually first off with the Cleveland Indians, they have done a social media suite. This is going to be their 3rd season, and what that is it's a one-of-a-kind experience where they have attendees. They invite fans up to the suite to tweet, to Facebook, to use Instagram, and just anything social media related fans can do in this suite. It's been really well received, and now they just started the application process for the new season here. And the Cleveland Indians have done some great things this offseason. They're one of the most Twitter-friendly teams in Major League Baseball. Tariq, I'll throw it to you first. Suites, teams have a really hard time selling suites, especially in baseball with the long season. Why don't you think some more teams are doing this to engage their fans?
I think it's a couple of different things. One, I think that it really comes down to what the team thinks, either the front office or some of the upper management. Sometimes some teams or some people want to see a hard ROI or return on investment on the suites, where others, they just want either some type of engagement through social media in the suite. I think the reason you may not see a lot more of this is that it could be a lot of stadiums actually have sold out their suites. So they want to focus more on driving monetary value into the suites. However, I do think the Cleveland Indians are doing a really good job with this, because a lot of people may not have the affordability or the opportunity to sit in a suite. But now, not only are you letting regular fans, average fans, come into the stadium and sit in a suite, you're now allowing them to use social media to engage with the team, to engage with other fans that are in the suites. And I really think you will see a lot more of this going forward for sure from other teams and leagues.
Yeah, and they actually did close down their Twitter account, I think, a few weeks ago, where, the MLB did this before, where they closed it down and really rewarded their fans that were already following them. And now the Indians just did the same thing. What are your thoughts on, those type of practices?
I think it's really creative. Yeah, the MLB one, I believe, was MLB members only, and they gave away some really good prizes, tickets to the World Series, opening day tickets, and really gave away some really good products. And the Indians following suit is a really good idea because it really shows that, you really drive home your own fan base and really give them a good opportunity to engage with the team via social media. And it's nice because you really feel as you're part, as if you were part of an exclusive club, saying that, okay, I follow my team on social media and I have the opportunity to win something really cool from them, or I have a chance to engage with them. Whereas if you follow other teams, you may not hear from them or may not engage with them. So I really like the practice of that. And yeah, I definitely see it being very successful, and not only engaging your current fans, but then really drawing in new fans to your team as well.
And Sarah, what type of things do you do at Uconn to engage fans over social media?
Yeah, well, I definitely agree. This is a really neat idea. And one of the things that we try to always do is either give our fans access to things that they normally don't get. So like this is a prime example, like you're giving fans access to a suite that maybe not most of the time usually get that, or giving them access to your teams, your players, your coaches, and everything that they don't normally see on a day-to-day basis. So like for us, one example is like for our media days, football, specifically the last 2 years, we've hosted a live show. So we have a host, we do all interaction with the players, we do online trivia, online questions, give away prizes to the upcoming season. But it's for us, the fans, and it's not something that they would be able to get anywhere else. So again, the access, whether it's in your venues, on the fields, or just to your players and coaches, is something I think is very valuable.
And staying with the Indians, they've also, done some really great things with just general marketing and getting people to the ballpark. I know Ad Age today had a great article on kind of their strategy in terms of, giveaways and how many to do and when to do them. And they've really utilized data to kind of figure out what is best for them. And Alex King, their VP of Marketing and Brand Management, said that they found that it was most incremental for them to have more giveaway nights and fewer giveaways per night. And so instead of every fan getting an item, it would only be limited to the first 10,000 fans, but have more nights throughout the season. Sarah, so what's your take on giveaways and everything like that as far as Uconn's perspective?
Yeah, I thought it was a really interesting article, and I definitely agree with what they had to say. I know for comparing college to the professional world, professional markets or teams have a lot bigger budget than college we do. So we rely pretty heavily on our sponsors and everyone, and most of our giveaways are coming from our sponsors. But I would say when we do giveaways, they are for specific groups. So it's whether it's the students or the season ticket holders. So it's not necessarily, we don't really have giveaways where we give away 10,000 of something or we give away 40,000 of something. But I do agree with if you do it more throughout the season, then fans are inclined to come more times. Or you do something too, whether it's like their idea is the bobbleheads. So then everybody wants to come and kind of collect the entire collection. We did do this year, our women's basketball game versus Baylor was our pink out. And we did 16,000 T-shirts on every single seat. And I do believe it actually helped us sell out the arena for the game, even though it is number 1 versus number 3. Women's basketball in the market we're in don't necessarily always sell out. So I know that helped drive attendance for us to that game. So
besides that initiative, do you see any as like a fan favorite in the past, Sarah?
Well, for giveaways, our fans love T-shirts for some reason. They always want to get that.
Everyone loves a good T-shirt.
I know, and I'm like, how many Uconn T-shirts can you have in your closet? But I'm trying to think if there was anything else crazy we've done. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I know people love the bobbleheads, whether you do the mascot ones or the different players.
And Tariq, do you see, any social media kind of tie-ins, whether it be a social media night and giving away like a T-shirt that has your Twitter handle on the back, like the Tampa Bay Rays did?
Sure, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. I know the Chicago Cubs did that last year, where they put all of their Twitter handles on the back of the shirt. And as you said, getting a shirt along with your own Twitter handle on it, I think is a really good idea. And even with the giveaways, it could be that for the people who come to a social suite, maybe they get an exclusive bobblehead or they get an exclusive item in addition to the T-shirt to let them know that, okay, maybe this day that the first 5,000 fans will get a bobblehead doll. However, that if you're part of the social suite, we're going to have an exclusive bobblehead either just for you, or you get 2 of them, or something really unique, or as maybe the bobblehead and the social media T-shirt, to let them know that not only are you coming to this specific event, but you're really getting something social focused, such as the T-shirt or something else with social media handles and items on it that really makes it valuable for the fan to attend social suites, or in that aspect.
Right, definitely. And moving on now to our second topic, which is Nike. They've actually created some posters with a player on it for each school that is in the tournament. And it's created kind of a stir just because that player turns out to be Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And if you can scroll down here, Brian, there he is. And he's profiled on Middle Tennessee's poster there, Illinois as well. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, excuse me, he was a player on Kentucky last year, and he's in the NBA now. So it's kind of interesting that they are almost using him as a stock photo to advertise different schools' accomplishments making it to the tournament. This is like a potential, NCAA compliance issue, as Nike just might be, trying to skirt around the bylines where, they can't use a specific player that's playing, currently a student at a university. But is this bad marketing, or is just this a necessary thing to skirt around those rules? Sarah, I'll go with you first.
Well, I did see them right when they came out. I didn't realize it was Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. His name is hard to say, but from Kentucky at first. But then now that I saw it earlier today, it was very intriguing. And I like that they're actually using an actual player, because I don't like it when they go with somebody that's not real. But I don't agree that they're using him for all these schools, because there's plenty of schools that have a player that is currently in the NBA or been in the NBA or come from their university that could represent and wear their jersey. Because I'm sure there's schools out there that are Nike schools. Like if it was us, we'd be like, why is he representing Uconn?
Right.
And for March Madness. To me, I mean, I see it, but at the same time, I don't really agree. So it's kind of my take on it.
No, I definitely agree. Tariq, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I saw the ad with MKG on it, and it didn't really strike me as bothersome at first, because it's, whenever you watch TV or whenever you read magazines, I always see there's like a generic football player. He's wearing number 34. He wears a red jersey, and I've seen him in 10 different commercials. He's someone has photoshopped a wristband on him. Someone has photoshopped something around his neck, and I think but I don't know if they've gotten sued or gotten in trouble. But I can see it both ways. That I agree with Sarah. You want to see a real player. MKG was successful. He's in the NBA now. He's not in college anymore. But then on the other hand, you have the ongoing case with the the O'Bannon lawsuit with the likeness in video games. Maybe some of that comes into play as well. So, it's definitely a tricky situation. But I do like the fact that they did use an actual former NCAA player as opposed to either just an actor or a caricature of some sort.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tricky, skirting that fine line of trying to stay, in compliance, because while they're a sponsor of a ton of different schools, they're not a sponsor of the NCAA itself, which is where the issue comes into play. But if I was MKG, I would have an issue with this, just having my likeness on other people's uniforms and using my brand to do that. So I think MKG is a Nike athlete, but it's just like a misrepresentation of who he is. So kind of odd. But staying along with the March Madness theme, it's right around the corner, and like Sarah said, she is busy preparing for the Uconn women's team, who is again a number 1 seed in their division, which is insane. This year, the men's team is in the tournament due to their APR and some academic issues, but usually they're in it. Describe how you market each team differently. Do you use different tactics during March, or is it just kind of all under one umbrella?
Well, I would say again, our men's team isn't eligible, so it's a little disappointing. We would have been we would have made the tournament if we would have been ineligible. So that is kind of a bummer, knowing how good a season we had, but we weren't able to play. But our women's team again is a number 1 seed. We're very excited for them. Should have a great shot again to make it to the Final Four, and hopefully we'll go up against Notre Dame and beat them this time to go to the championship game. But yeah, our women's team specifically, it's a little bit hard for us because we have a regular season here. We want our fans to buy season tickets. The Big East tournament is also hosted in Hartford, so then we want our fans to buy tickets to the Big East tournament here. And then we are hosting the first and second rounds on campus and stores, so now we want them to buy tickets there. And then the regionals in Bridgeport, which is an hour drive. So it's a lot for our fans to buy tickets to all these events. We want them there, but can they afford it? And do they want to go to the Final Four in New Orleans? So it's a little bit difficult, but we do our best. And again, we have to follow all the NCAA guidelines for marketing. They tell you how you can market basically to your fans. So it's a little different than the regular season this time of year. And then from a men's perspective, we usually don't play anywhere around here. So it's more of us marketing to our fans about following them in the postseason, And if they can go anywhere nearby, we obviously market the ticket side, but it's more of represent your team socially, interactively, that kind of stuff, and cheer them on to the Final Four and get the brand out there and that kind of awareness. So
would you say your emphasis for, let's say, like the women's program is driving ticket sales to your, home games that you host, or like you said, the Big East championship where it's just right around the corner, just from a school's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, for the Big East tournament, like we pushed that as much as we could. They kind of market that themselves too, but then our focus went from that last Tuesday to, okay, now we're hosting first and second rounds this weekend, so come out here. And then if we win on Monday, then it's like, okay, now go to Bridgeport, an hour away, and we got to do that again. So it, like Gino said, like 2 years ago, when we hosted, we only had about 6,000 fans out of the 10,000 seat arena. Maya Moore, everyone, and he looked at our fans and was like, you guys are spoiled because you get all these games and don't have to go anywhere. They're in your backyard, so you sit at home now and don't even come out to the venue. So it's tricky, it's hard. And like all the other teams, it's great that we get to play at home, but at the same time, you also wish sometimes you didn't, to create that need for them to want to come back when they're around.
Yeah, Gino was not happy. I remember him saying that line, you're spoiled, and when you guys have an amazing team. Your fans have been spoiled for a while with that women's program there. So, Tariq, what about, other teams, men or women, any school, how can they stay relevant, even if they're not in the tournament, over social media during March Madness?
A couple of different ways. One, I'll tie one into Sarah's. Uconn Huskies could be, since the women made the NCAA tournament and unfortunately the men did not, you could use a couple different ways where maybe you could, get the team together, have them watch the women's basketball team either on TV or in person, and maybe take a couple pictures and then share them on Instagram, and then share them out through either Twitter or Facebook, showing, hey, our women's team is playing and the men's team is supporting them. Here's a picture of, the guy sitting in the student lounge, or, watching them play as well. I think also for teams that have made it into the tournament, I think the key is, just keep doing what you're doing in the regular season, with the game updates, if you're there taking some pictures, and just really providing really good quality content. And even teams that didn't make the tournament, it depends, I guess, from the college's perspective, but maybe you could support your own conference mate, so say that, your team is in the Atlantic 10, you didn't make the conference, but someone from the Atlantic 10 did, maybe you could say, hey, our conference mate, this team is in the tournament, you know, are you watching the game today? Or maybe share some pictures with people watching or students watching the games from campus, and, you know, just really getting more of a, you know, personal feel to it, just, you know, showing that either A, our team is in the tournament, here's what we're doing, we're providing constant updates and providing pictures, or, you know, even if your team isn't in the tournament, as I mentioned, you know, maybe you can take a picture of the men's or the Uconn men's team watching the women's team, and then share that, you know, on Instagram, or share that through Twitter or Facebook as well, just showing that, you know, one team is supporting the other in that way.
Right. Sarah, some free advice from you right
I know,
there.
that's a great idea. I think
That's why I call you the
in my head
guru.
now.
Definitely not the guru, I promise.
That's why I call you the guru, Tariq. Well, Tariq, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck, Sarah, in
Thank you.
in the tournament for the women's side. I'll be pulling for you guys over Bailey.
Good luck, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you, Tariq, and thank you, Sarah. And thank you for joining us today. And you can find us on sportsbusinessnow.com or on Twitter at SBNow. We will see you next time.
SBN, Sports Business Now.